parents are part of the problem.
A growing number of vape users on Guam are children. Guam law states users must be 21 to buy it. So to find out how vapes might be getting into the wrong hands, KUAM checked out several stores today to test the system.
Sorry, I'm just looking around. Huh? I don't have any on me. Is that cool? Okay, no worries.
That's KUAM intern 18-year-old Devin Santos going in first. And from one store to the next and another, he's carded.
Can you show me your ID?
I don't have. Is that okay? I don't have it on me.
Oh, how old are you?
21.
20.
21.
21?
Yeah.
So I need your ID.
Okay. No, it's okay then.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
Now it's our turn to head inside.
What made you decide to card him right away as soon as he walked in?
Our policy is ID for entrance, that's why.
ID for, yeah, I see you guys. So this is a normal occurrence for you guys as soon as anyone walks in? You. All right, all right.
Purchase without an account. So that way, if it's given to a minor outside, we can kind of help law enforcement to kind of track if it was, So that's usually how we do it.
The shop posting a sign that everyone will be carded. It's their policy and it's the law. The same for this store.
For user, normally we ask them to see the ID first, especially when they look young, because usually a lot of young age, like a 21, 20, they're really trying to buy, but we have to check, that's the law.
Still, somehow, vapes are getting into the hands of our youngsters, like what happened here at this next convenience store.
And are you over 21?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I believe because you're so confident, like, yes.
The cashier not asking him for an ID, even telling him he can try it in the store.
You can test now if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here, I got it.
I'll just take it to go. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
anything, let me know.
And just like that, a vape sold to our underage intern. We followed behind afterward, asking the cashier why she sold it to him.
I did ask him, I did say, oh, just sell it to you. I did ask him, and and he said yes, and with confidence. But like you say, right, I would ask ID, even though they look mature.
The cashier allowed us to return the vape. Enforcement of vapes at businesses are led by Department of Revenue and Taxation Compliance Inspector Supervisor Craig Camacho. In a phone interview, he tells KUAM they conduct unannounced inspections every year along with Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center for the annual SINAR report. In their operations, they train 16 to 20-year-olds to go undercover and try to buy the products.
A majority of the vape shops, they actually card the minors right upon entry, so they're not even allowed entry. I do believe there was some violations where mom and pop stores, or not just mom and pop stores, you have gas stations, you have other grocery stores, basically all establishments that have a tobacco license were inspected.
Anyone caught selling to underage buyers could be slapped with $1,000 for the first violation, $2,000 for the second, along with a suspended tobacco license for 90 days. The third violation is $5,000 and a 180-day license suspension. Still, he admits there's only so much enforcement they can do.
But for the most part, we can't be at every establishment all the time to regulate these things. So ultimately, we just hope for more responsible business owners, that can take it seriously on verifying the ID.
We don't sell. We card everybody that enters the establishment. We are an adult-only establishment, period.
It's responsible business owners like Vape Escapes Theseus Mendiola. He holds workshops with the Guam Department of Education schools to educate faculty and staff on what to be on the lookout for. Those staff telling him students are getting their hands on vapes from their family. He also sees many parents even coming into his store with their children to buy them vapes.
This was a parent that brought in their youth, and was trying to buy it for them. So that didn't succeed. So what ended up happening is she sent in the dad. They went out in the car, switched places. The dad came in, and our sales associates noticed the father coming out of the same vehicle.
While he bans their accounts and tries to stop the sales of vapes to youth at his doors, he admits with no law in place that punishes those 21 and older for giving vapes to anyone underage, there's more work to be done. Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Well, he allegedly admitted to police that he intended to, quote, chop up his victim with a machete. 25-year-old John Rapola Jr. is charged with attempted murder, twice with aggravated assault and family violence, each including a special allegation of using a deadly weapon. As KUAM first reported, police responded to a stabbing reported at a home off Chalancarita in Yigo Monday night. Rapola allegedly admitting that he sharpened a machete, then repeatedly stabbed the victim in the head.
The victim, a 27-year-old woman known to him, was found in the bathroom by a relative, bleeding out with 4 cuts to her head. Authorities saying she was unconscious when she was rushed to the hospital. She's now in stable condition. Investigators noting blood was smeared on the walls and floors of the residence. Though Rapola allegedly admitted he intended to, quote, chop up the woman's body, a motive for the stabbing has not yet been released. Rapola allegedly admitting he got rid of the machete, tried to burn the residence with the victim still inside, and burned the clothes he was wearing during the attack. One of the masterminds behind the inheritance scheme that built Guam residents out of millions learned his fate.
The defendant telling a federal judge who sentenced him to prison, quote, I made some mistakes. Julian Hernandez has more from the courtroom.
3 years and 9 months. That's how long defendant Ukuchugu Uwuji will spend in a U.S. Bureau of Prison facility for scamming more than 50 Guam residents out of millions in an inheritance scheme. The case involving more than $2.3 million. Cameras were not allowed inside the District Court of Guam for criminal cases, but inside, Uwuji telling senior judge John Connor that he apologizes for his crime. The Nigerian native stating, I made some mistakes. I'm sorry about that. I was going to pay back but wasn't given time. I accept my blame and mistakes. Uwuji was sentenced for this case in Guam after admitting to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. Prosecutors say he carried out the scheme while living in Florida. Prior to arriving to Guam from Orlando, Uwuji also got 3.5 years in a case in the Central District of Florida for attempt and conspiracy to commit mail fraud. That's where he was residing when he carried out the scam. His jail time will run concurrent. Appearing virtually from the Sunshine State today, defense attorney Tyrese Cruz telling the judge he believes Uwuji learned his lesson and has every intention of returning what he stole. Assistant U.S. Attorney Marvick David argued otherwise, telling the court, quote, this defendant and others keep saying they made mistakes, but that's not what the evidence showed. The defendant profited, continuously contacted Amebola, and spent the money. David also pointing out that Uwuji was recently convicted in a separate federal case in Florida. Co-defendant Jide Abimbola has a warrant out for his arrest after he failed to show up to his sentencing on Wednesday. Defense asked for a delay contending Abimbola could not make it to Guam from Florida, stating in court documents that he was recently robbed. But the federal judge denied the up and bring him to the island. Co-defendants Sally Roberto, Monique Jones, and Makeda Jones were sentenced in federal court earlier this week for their role in the financial scheme. Roberto got 2 years and 9 months, Monique Jones got 4 years, and Makeda Jones got 3 years. The Joneses' defendants plan to appeal for lesser time. Meantime, it was also said in court that Uwuji faces deportation. Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
Now to a family's desperate fight to get their elderly mother out of the dark. The family coming to KUAM saying their pleas for help have fallen on deaf ears for months.
Tonight we speak with Felina Nauta, a widow who has lived in Dededo for 2 decades. She's hoping her story gets the attention of government officials to finally get her to get the help needed to turn the electricity back on.
Living in the dark for 3 months. No solace from the scorching island heat, and no way to store food for extended periods. This is the reality of Dededo resident Felina Nauta. She's still without power since Typhoon Mawar hit back in May.
I'm just waiting until they fix the power. Because like me, I cannot even do my work inside because no power. Even to clean my freezer, my frigidaire cannot. And like every day like this, too hot.
Felina resides on Chamorro Land Trust property. She's lived here with her now deceased husband, Teodoro Nauta, for 20 years, with no issues with utility connections until now.
My husband passed away. I cannot do anything.
Her stepson Ray Nauta taking over the lease with the CLTC 2 years ago, but what seemed like a simple quest to get his stepmom's power restored, and that's by way of getting a letter of utility authorization from the CLTC to give to the Guam Power Authority,
her reality only becoming more complicated. Now to finding out from CLTC land agent Lydia Toulouse that the packet he filled out with CLTC employee Lorraine Netadog 2 years ago was never assigned to an agent for approval.
She says, oh, okay, well, I'll go ahead and request an agent to be assigned to it, and it should not take maybe no more than a week to hopefully get that letter of authorization. It's been over 80, maybe about 90 days now.
Now to adding since then, communication with the CLTC has flatlined. In a desperate attempt to help his mom, he's turned to the Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and Guam Delegate James Moylan for help, but getting no response. That's when the family reached out to KUAM. And after seeing Felina's living situation today, we spoke with CLTC Executive Director Alice Tyron to ask what's the holdup.
Most of these individuals will speak to a land agent. So unfortunately, the land agent that Mr. Nauta has been communicating with has been out for the last, 2.5 weeks. No excuse.
Tyron reiterating that utility authorization is typically quick, admitting they dropped the ball. It was relayed to him from the CLTC that usually like you said, it takes less than a week to get the ball rolling. He said he has been waiting for at least 90 days at this point.
So I'm not aware of that. No excuses. I will take a look at if the request is only for utility authorization. That's something that, like I said, I was just made aware this week, and I will take a look at it as quickly as I can.
That's Tyron's response despite Nauta including her on several emails requesting help for the authorization. Tyron admitting it is difficult to get through the hundreds of emails she gets a day. Our visit today led to Tyron saying she will have another land agent oversee the case to help Felina. While Felina may be living in the dark for now, today brought some hope. Our camera is capturing the moment she is finally able to get some help to clear the mess left behind by the storm, thanks to these volunteers.
So lucky that I get these people to cut, then they take it outside all the wood. Oh my gosh.
And KUAM will continue to follow up on Felina's case until the lights are turned back on at the place she's called home for so long. And now to look at your last chance to get in on our giveaway this week.
Get your hands on a pair of tickets for the Joe Coy 4th comedy show set for Tuesday, August 22nd. Again, like we've been telling you, all you need to do, subscribe to our newsletter, the KUAM Digital Digest.
That's right. One lucky new subscriber will be drawn at random and announced via our newsletter tomorrow. Visit KUAM.com or our KUAM News app. Look for the newsletter tab and subscribe. And just a reminder, you must be a resident of Guam and have proper ID to win. And a quick note, before we head to break, an unexploded ordnance was found at the construction site along Ipoh Road in Tamuning. Authorities will detonate it tomorrow at 10 a.m.
All within 250 yards of the site, including businesses fronting Lower Ipoh Road into Tamuning and Route 14 Tumon towards PIC will need to evacuate before then. The road will be closed until the all clear is given. We have more now on KUAM.com. We'll be right back.
Hello, welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order, please? The McNuggets of chicken.
I haven't had a Big Mac in a long time.
How many Filet-O-Fishes did you eat? That's over several months, Ryan.
Quiero McFlurry. In Puerto Rico, a McFlurry, it's called a Señor Flurry. 2 golden menus.
A wonderful crew at McDonald's.
McDonald's?
McDonald's. They're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's.
Are you gonna order something?
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa. You can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Welcome back to Prime Time. In what she admitted was a drastic move, Speaker Therese Terlahi calling for holding the governor's office budget hostage until Adelup releases $20 million to Guam DOE.
But opponents of the amendment called it disrespectful and said it would provoke a fight with the governor. They may not have the numbers to win. Nestor Lecanto reports.
No money for GDOE, no money for the governor's office. That was essentially the amendment by Speaker Therese Terlahi to force Adelup to revert the $20 million that was appropriated in a previous public law for school repairs.
And I know this is kind of a drastic measure, but I just feel like we need to do something drastic when it comes to DOE. I want to hear an end to the excuses.
That drew a strong rebuke from Vice Speaker Tina Barnes.
We just talked about respecting each equal branch of government, and now we're going to do this? What would that impact be for the administration, who literally, legislature creates the policy, executive branch executes? But we have an agency, the Department of Education, who literally we gave some autonomy to because they have a board of education to take care of those things that you, Mr. Chair, were a part of, and you understand that process. So please, with all due respect, if I can ask the Office of Finance and Budget what impact that would have to the administration, because that's not showing any respect. Two wrongs don't make a right.
But Republican veterans like Joanne Brown and Jesse Lujan, while supportive, asked, do you really want to go there?
I hope we're ready probably for line item vetoes on sections of this budget. Hopefully you have the votes to override it, because we've been down this road before. We went down this road with Carl Gutierrez. We cut his budget. He cut ours. And that budget cut stood because members of the body said, okay, we'll eat it. So think about it. I mean, I don't mind. I don't have much to lose in this game personally here. But as a policy position, I mean, I think it sends a very bold message, but I mean, you have to be prepared to live with the consequences.
Nobody's going to argue in the sense that we don't want to support the kids. We all do. We have all voted almost every single bill in regards to helping the Department of Education. But this entails, again, a bigger fight. And we anticipate that to happen. And do we have the numbers?
They did have the numbers to pass the amendment, but a veto override? That might have to wait. Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
Personal hygiene products for women and girls. It's an essential, but community concern erupting now this week after senators voted to reduce how much money the public schools will get to have their products available for free at the schools.
It's supply and demand. The worry is whether Guam DOE will have enough for its students for the entire school year. Julian Hernandez has the story.
Show me the essential products for girls, period.
I cannot tell you the overwhelming amount of students, teachers, admin, nurses that are not only contacting Fam Rights, but are contacting BWA because their students are in dire need of these products.
Stephanie Lorenzo, co-founder and executive director of the reproductive justice group Famalaw and Rights, is speaking out after learning what senators did to the Guam Department of Education's funding, cutting back on what would cover menstrual products in public schools.
We fought to ensure that our students have access to these products. At the end of the day, we want to give these students the dignity and the basic human respect and right that they deserve to, be a student in school, to ensure that their education is not at risk because they don't have access to period products.
Lorenzo co-authored the Period Poverty Act when she was with the Guam Youth Congress. The act requires all public school nursing or counselor offices have menstrual products such as tampons and sanitary pads available for students free of charge. Lorenzo argues the cutbacks will only mean more financial restrictions and negatively impact the social stigma for young girls' menstrual cycles and education. 8 senators voted Tuesday afternoon on an amendment that reduces the $100,000 amount for the Period Poverty Act by 3/4, funding only $25,000.
That other $75,000 can go to someone else, like a teacher for SPED. We can hire an additional teacher for SPED, or have DOE finally build a ramp for a child who has a disabilities, or the awnings that are needed when these kids, get off the bus and it's all wet. So why would we hold that money hostage? Secondly, $92,000 from last year was still there, hasn't been utilized. So it's real simple.
Senator Telo Taitigui telling KUAM the cuts followed information they got from GDOE's head nurse claiming the $25,000 was all that was spent for products in the past school year.
Last year was never funded through the legislature. It never came out of the general fund. It was actually through, I think, the Women's Bureau at $100,000 that she got from ARP funding. So everybody was in agreement because money wasn't taken from the general fund. It was taken from a grant.
As reported, GDOE Deputy Superintendent Erica Cruz admitted school nurses have been covering the cost of the products out of pocket, adding they've also received community donations. Senator Taitigui adding she was told from the head nurse that the act prevents GDOE from getting federal grants to buy more.
No one from DOE said a word about any kind of supplanting or that this would jeopardize federal funding, nothing.
Both Lorenzo and Bureau of Women's Affairs Director Jane Flores says they had no idea of any potential federal grant blockage when the act became law. Flores adding they too were donating to the schools.
We had to wait until October of 2022 when FY 2023 kicked in. And I made a note and sent it to Senator Shelton saying, make sure that when you are having the budget hearings for GDOE that they set aside money for the menstrual products. Please make sure because this is the law now. And so, yes, we're going to do that. So apparently the money was set aside. And in February of 2023, I started getting emails from middle and high schools saying, hey, do you have any menstrual products? Our girls need menstrual products. And so I get donations here, so I donated everything I had.
Sides arguing left and right about the funding, but the big question remains, if GDOE does have the products, well, where are they? KUAM obtaining the purchase orders made just this past Tuesday, the same day the issue was voted on at the legislature. GDOE confirming their vendor delivered part of the order, which will go out to school health counselors tomorrow. Additionally, GDOE's head nurse Julieta Kineni tells KUAM the remaining funds appropriated from the menstrual hygiene appropriation will be made available for further needs. If funds are not used, the superintendent can exercise transfer authority. We are aware that the legislature is currently discussing a carryover for these funds. GDOE Superintendent Kenneth Swanson plans to use the funds quarterly so that the products can be made available for the entire female student body. After our interview with Lorenzo, Famaloan writes posted on social media that bottom line, cutting funding for period products shows our people that our government is not willing to provide the proper funding to ensure that our students can go to school while on their period. Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
It's Child Support Awareness Month in the Marianas.
Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnia sits down with the Assistant Attorney General on Saipan, who handles all the island's interstate child support cases, which can reach up to 350 at any time.
We have anywhere between, normally, I'd say between 250 and 350 cases active at any one time. This morning, I just started working on one that we had closed and reopened.
CNMI Assistant Attorney General Tom Schwager handles all of the island's interstate child support cases. He leads the Child Support Enforcement Unit. August is Child Support Awareness Month, and the AG's office hopes to get financial support to kids in need.
We have a number of enforcement tools at our disposal. Probably the biggest one for us here in the CNMI is we are able to intercept tax refunds and rebates. One of the other things that is done, the other states that we deal with can suspend your passport if you owe more than, I believe it's $1,500 now on past due child support, or you haven't made a payment in over a year.
The office collected and distributed more than $360,000 last year. The AG collected more than $8,000 from tax rebates and refunds, and another $14,000 from labor for FPUC and PUA. The office wants to expand its operations.
We're trying to get federal funding for our child support division, in which case we will have to do the local cases also. That's one of the things that our office is working on. We're very close. We've taken a number of steps to get there. We updated our laws They're now uniform with the rest of the mainland U.S.
He said federal funding would provide $2 for every dollar that NMI spends and would allow the office to hire another attorney. The money is needed as the NMI and American Samoa are the only two U.S. jurisdictions that are not under the 1994 Welfare Reform Act's Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program. Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Sports is next. Keep it here.
The wait is over, Guam. The all-new state-of-the-art car wash is now open at Cars Plus. Introducing Finish Line Express, open 7 days a week. The all-new cashless drive-through car wash is also the largest car wash on island that can accommodate vehicles such as lifted Jeeps and full-size pickup trucks. Just roll up, pick a wash, insert credit card, or show your EverWash app and roll through. Plus, power vacuums are available to clean the interior. Show your vehicle some love today at the all-new car wash at Cars Plus in Mighty. Open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. 7 days a week.
To celebrate doubling my sourdough, Jack, I got doubles for everyone in the office.
All right, my double looks nothing like me, and neither does yours. HR. Hey, it's our wife.
Order my classic or double bacon sourdough, Jack, today.
Free Typhoon Mawar debris cleanup is underway by FEMA and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Stage and sort eligible typhoon debris, including green waste, large appliances, and metals as soon as possible at the residential way to take advantage of this free service. Ineligible debris will be left on site and may result in illegal dumping fines. For updated information by village, visit tinyurl.com/cleanupgu. This ad is paid for by the Office of the Governor of Guam.
Our primary mission is to help Guam's children that need medical assistance. And we only ask three things to do that. We need a letter asking for our help, a physician's referral, and a synopsis saying what the illness is. And if they qualify, we give them $1,250 per child. In 2022 alone, we did 28 kids to the tune of $35,000 that we gave away. So our golf tournament is our big fundraiser to replenish that fund, to put the money back in the fund.
Okay, so when we talk about golf tournaments, everybody wants to know, okay, which course and where do I sign up? What time's tee time?
Tee time is at noon. We're playing at Country Club of the Pacific, CCP, and it's this Saturday.
Good course.
It's a great course. Right now, one of the best on the island right now.
And what will the members of the MC be doing at the golf tournament, just to, like show presence and be there and help out?
Some are playing. Maybe 8 or 10 are playing. The rest will be either, we're doing a shot station. Wild Bill's is sponsoring a shot station. Some will be manning that. We'll have some roaming around in drink carts. We'll have some stocking beers at the entry place. We'll have a group of people doing check-in and taking care of the finances. We'll be selling raffle tickets. We have some great raffle prizes. And then the rest will be watching holes. Each of the par threes, all 4 par threes is a hole-in-one prize.
Very nice.
Somebody has to watch that to attest that the hole-in-one was actually made. Our 4 hole-in-ones are Harley Davidson, Cars Plus, VFW 1509 is doing $10,000, and one of our members, Moose, is doing a $25,000 hole.
Very nice.
Personally. So our hole sponsorship are our main way of raising money, and our gold sponsors, Hawaiian Rock, IP&E, PFM. Our gold sponsor is at an $1,800 level, and that gets them 2 free teams. Teams are 2 teams, 2 people each team. And then our drink sponsors, I want to mention those because they're giving us lots of drinks. Ambrose, ST, Midpack, Pepsi, H2O to go. We also have raffle prizes that have been donated. We have ditty bag prizes that have been donated. And then some other people are just giving us a few $100s here and there. They just want to contribute something and throw it in the kitty. And every penny we make, I want to emphasize this, every penny we make in this tournament goes to the Children's Fund. We don't keep anything or use it for any other reason.
There you go. All you guys want to do is just have fun and keep spreading that half-a-day spirit.
Well, we just want to keep having a good time, but helping the kids, that's what it's all about.
Great way to help young people and on the back of a bike.
Yeah.
All right, Wayne, thanks so much.
You're welcome. All right.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
New chicken nuggets from KFC?
Everybody's gonna want these. Let's eat these inside.
Try new Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets. You've never had nuggets like these.
Thanks so much, guys. It is a colorful edition of News Bites today. Look at this. I'm wearing my hot pink because Barbie is still a thing. And go watch it. Go watch it in the theaters because it's super, super funny. You're not going to be disappointed. And color is the order of the day. Many people saying I got a really bad suntan. Thank you for that. I didn't expect that in my DMs. But color and Tropical Color Center Photography's Academy. We love those guys. Their mission is to develop Guam's next generation of photographers, and we need more of those. Everybody shoots on Snapchat. Everybody shoots on IG Story. You want to learn from the very, very best so you can do it right. They'll be holding an after-school program open to kids 7 to 13, Monday through Friday from 4 to 5, only an hour per day. Now, there are 3 sessions from the 21st through September 1st, through September 4th through the 16th, and September 18th through the 29th. Each session can only take 10 students, so please register early. There's no fee and camera equipment will be provided. Shout out to our friend at Tropical Color Center because they are amazing, teaching kids how to capture moments and do it the right way. Much respect for that. All right, Snap Ed Plus from our friends over at the University of Guam in Mingilao is holding a free nutrition and a wellness class at GRMC on the 30th, also on September 6th, 13th, 20th, and 27th. There's lots of these. It starts at 10 a.m. and goes for an hour. It's at GRMC's training room, of course. They're over here in Dedido. Learn how to create meal plans and shopping lists, shop smart on a budget, and cook healthy, easy meals. Again, doing things the right way. You got to get that done. And if you happen to be up in Saipan, the Northern Marianas Protection and Advocacy Systems Incorporated. Really, really long title, and they're doing really, really cool stuff. They're hosting their 30th anniversary trivia night. Man, I love trivia nights. It's on Saturday, September 30th. Mike, can we go there? We got to take a field trip, me and Mike. At the Hibiscus Hall located in the Crown Plaza Resort from 6 to 10, $50 with dinner buffet is included. All proceeds from trivia night will support the organization's administrative costs. Make sure to register. And you know what? Spend the time between now and September to really, really work on your trivia game. It could be, I love sports, so I got names, dates, stats, everything like that. History, I'm not so good at. I do know that Destiny is very, very good at geography, so let's go back to these guys as we get ready for Trivia Night. News Bites coming at you every single night.
It's birthday wishes time.
Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
If your name happens to be Kelsey Duenas on this August the 17th, which is a Thursday, we say happy birthday to you and your family and friends. Authored this wonderful shout out, short, simple, sweet, and they say, we love you, 4 exclamation points afterwards. So Kelsey, you know that's legit. Really, really awesome. Happy birthday also to Justin and Glenn Bejarana. We know the Bejarana family here at KUAM, and we wish you the very best. And congratulations to your family. Happy birthday to the both of you, though. Your shout out says for Justin and Glenn. Justin is on the left, Glenn is on the right. And we love you, say Gavin and Joan Bejarana. So a lot of love, a lot of positivity, and that's what we do here on the birthday shout outs. And please make sure to send us yours because we are going to make somebody's day, and we hope that's what we did today for Kelsey, Justin, and Glenn.
Birthday to everyone celebrating. That's your show.
Good night.
Local